About the second best rivalry in NBA history, Stephen Curry versus LeBron James. I'd like to quickly analyze this matchup, this clash between these two great legends of the last 15 years who've been the standout players. I'd like to quickly analyze this matchup, this clash between these two great legends of the last 15 years who've been the standout players. Some at their peak longer than others, but honestly, I love comparing these two players because often there's this comparison between LeBron James. I honestly believe that one of the reasons why LeBron James has struggled to surpass or catch up to Michael Jordan is this 6'3" guy who's spectacular, the best shooter in history, the best long range shooter ever. This guy probably has 3, 4, 5 more years in his career and will extend the number of 3-pointers to beat by a lot. I think it'll take decades for a player to surpass him in 3-pointers. But let's compare their careers briefly. Both have 4 championships. LeBron James has 4 MVPs. Stephen Curry has 2 MVPs, if I recall correctly, or maybe it's 1. Ultimately, I think Curry has played on a team with more stars. It's worth noting he's not the league's most marketed player. I'm surprised LeBron has so few MVPs. Compared to Johnson, Abdul-Jabbar and Jordan, they all have more MVP. Curry's the only one who doesn't surpass him in this case. The reality is both players have limited each other's achievements. If LeBron hadn't existed, we might be comparing Curry without hesitation to the all-time greats. The issue with Michael Jordan is championships, winning titles, conquering a league. No doubt, in the last 15 years, excluding this decade, I'd say from 2020 on, Curry and LeBron might not be the top contenders. Though Curry, with a weaker Thompson and Green, faced a strong Celtics team with Tatum, Brown, and Williams in the finals. Curry, with limited support, proved he can lead a team without many resources. There's always been this argument from average NBA fans or LeBron fans that Curry was on a super team, so he has titles and LeBron doesn't. But few players have won an NBA championship essentially alone. Right now, only Nowitzki comes to mind. Nowitzki and not much else comes to mind. We could mention Kobe Bryant with Pau Gasol, who I think was important for Kobe. But beyond that, I can't think of many more examples of teams without superstar lineups winning championships. Jordan's Bulls, Duncan's Spurs, Kobe's Lakers when LeBron won. Look at LeBron arriving in Cleveland. True, it was a low-level team he had to carry, but LeBron didn't win a championship there until Kyrie Irving joined. I'm not a big fan of Kyrie, but he's undeniably a great player and was key to LeBron's championship chances. In contrast, Miami had a team on par with Golden State. Just as Curry had Durant, Green, and Thompson, LeBron had Wade, Bosh, and others. So Miami was definitely a super team comparable to Golden State. Curry had Durant, Green, and Thompson, while LeBron had Wade, Bosh, and others, forming a formidable lineup that was certainly on the same level as the Warriors. Excellent team, and Chris Powell was close to joining too. They're very much in Stephen Curry's favor. That's why I give them so many points on this. Stephen Curry was a draft pick, and most players except Kevin Durant were draft picks. Klay Thompson came from a draft pick, not even first round. He was a draft pick, I think chosen 8th or 9th. Draymond Green was picked in the 2nd round. This shows many teams had a shot at Green. LeBron could have played with him if his team was smart. I can't criticize a superstar team for having superstars from the draft. It's about how you manage those picks. You can't fault them for drafting well. It's all about how you develop that talent. It depends on how you handle that draft pick. Look at Nikola Jokic. He was one of the last picks, and now he's a star. It's not just about where you pick, but what you do with that play. So I can't say, but for example, LeBron James with Kyrie Irving was a draft pick. But then you arrive at an already assembled team in Miami. And Stephen Curry has never played for a team outside of Golden State, sticking with them through good times and bad. If LeBron James didn't get what he wanted, he'd go to another team to try to win Stephen Curry with whatever situation Golden State gave him. He chose to be a player who's won as many championships as LeBron James. And I'm going to be very honest, I think Stephen Curry's championship against the Boston Celtics carries much more weight than all the championships that LeBron James has won. LeBron James wins a championship with Kyrie Irving. LeBron James wins a championship with Wade. And now he won a championship with Anthony Davis. Stephen Curry reaches the finals against the Boston Celtics, which was quite unfavorable for him. Not only because his team wasn't that great trio, that great team, but the Celtics had an incredible squad also in favor of the Celtics. Players chosen from Pigs, Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, Marcus Smart, all Pigs players. So this is quite remarkable. What I find interesting about these comparison debates is that we compare LeBron James to Michael Jordan, and supposedly LeBron James comes out on top. Then we compare Stephen Curry to Magic Johnson, and Curry supposedly loses by a wide margin. And then you think, okay, I can understand preferring Magic to Curry, and I actually agree with that. But then I wonder, how is it that the player who's taken championships away and often been more dominant than the GOAT, Michael Jordan, is worse than Magic Johnson? I mean, what is Magic Johnson? A top five player, maybe top six in history? I don't think he's in the all time top three, but he's in the top five or seven all time. Let's see. I think LeBron is theoretically better than Magic in theory, that is. Magic has more championships, Magic has more MVPs, but he doesn't have more points. But Magic Johnson wasn't a scorer. He was a triple double player. He's a player who's won championships for a franchise. He currently plays for, I don't know, honestly, LeBron James falls short for me. But personally, I think he's a player not overrated for being bad, but overrated by comparisons to players like Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, and Kareem. Because, yes, he's the all time leading scorer. The only stat he leads in beyond that, he's not the all time assist leader nor the all time rebound leader. He doesn't have the most titles or the best finals win percentage. In fact, he might be among the worst. But the fact that he has, I think, 10 or 12 NBA finals and has only four championships tells me that, look, when you play so many finals, losses happen. For example, if you play eight finals, losing one, two, or three is okay. You could lose up to half of them. Perhaps normally a final is a 50-50 chance. Both have equal odds. They're the top two teams. Now, when you've played more finals, more than double, lost twice as many finals, I have to question a lot about LeBron James. Saying LeBron James isn't top three all time would be outrageous. It'd be foolish. It'd be stupid. I rank LeBron James second in history, but I wanted to share this view. It's interesting how one player with physical traits far inferior to LeBron's, staying with one team his whole career so far, matched his championships, competed on par, often with weaker teams, sometimes better ones too. Compare this guy to Tim Duncan, compare him to Magic Johnson, and many get offended. He gets offended, and I think it's those same people who are obsessed with putting LeBron above Magic and Michael Jordan, then poof, honestly, I find it very amusing. But, well, friends, that's all from me. I'd love to read in the comments what you think about this topic I'm discussing. I mean, how is it possible that Stephen Curry and LeBron James are so comparable? I'm not saying Stephen is better than LeBron, but they're comparable. They're very much on par. And then you have Black Jesus, the Black Jesus.